Welcome back. More than 30 million people in the U.S. suffer from an eating disorder, and more than 70% of them won't ask for help. Joining us to shed some light on eating disorders are Nikki Dubois and Allison Chase, both with Eating Recovery Center here in Austin. Nikki, let's talk with you first. You actually suffered from an eating disorder. Tell me about that.
Yes, I'm a person in long-term recovery now. I have 2.5 years in recovery. I started my eating disorder around when I was 9. That's when I started noticing that I felt differently about my body than my peers. I didn't start actual behaviors until I was 15. So I struggled for 12 years with my disorder before I was able to get into treatment and not into treatment, into recovery and experience long-term recovery.
What prompted you to get help?
The university that I was at had recommended that I seek care because I was struggling and I had a lot of health problems due to my eating disorder.
Wow. Now, one of the things that I think is interesting is so young that she developed this. Is that common for young women and sometimes young men?
It is common. We see eating disorders as young as 9 and 10 years old. The great news is, though, is if we can catch it early detection and starting treatment, our recovery rates go up significantly.
One of the things I think it's important for parents to understand is how this sort of happens. How does this come about where obviously you started feeling differently about your body? Was there something in particular? Were you being teased? Did you not want to talk about it? What really triggered this for you?
I think there's multiple, for everybody it's different, but for me, I had just moved schools and left where all my friend base was, starting at a new school, and it was difficult for me to fit in. And then when I did fit in, I don't know, I just started noticing that I didn't feel the same way and that I was preoccupied with my body and exercise and food from just a young age.
Now we want to point out, I love that short people always want to be tall, tall people always want to be short. Was it because maybe you were taller than everyone else too, you think?
I'm not sure. I just felt differently, and I know it's different for everybody.
You know, the part that we know about eating disorders is the etiology, what goes into it, the creation of an eating disorder is so complex. So there's a biological piece, genetic, we've got temperament, sort of what one's personality is like, as well as these environmental factors too. So you have sort of that mix of things. So the life experiences like Nikki described for her with the changing of schools, and chances are she had this genetic and biological predisposition that kind of set her up for that.
What can parents, since so many people are going to develop the 70 million in the U.S., what are some warning signs for parents or friends to see?
You definitely want to look for changes in eating behaviors for sure, changes in body shape, in any kind of way. You also want to look for the psychological factors, increased anxiety, noticing some kind of withdrawal, maybe their social dynamic is changing some. You want to be aware of all of those pieces that are clues.
And what's the best way then to approach someone who you feel may have an eating disorder?
Is to encourage them to get help.
Okay.
It's not your job as a peer, as a friend, to do that part. It's to get them to professional help. And so thank goodness here in Austin we have Eating Recovery Center, which is local, and it's an opportunity to be able to get help and seek the help that one needs in order to get better.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, if someone you know has an eating disorder, please contact the Eating Recovery Center. Their information is right there on your screen. We also have it on our website, kview.com, in the links section. Ladies, we thank you for joining us this morning. We'll be right back.